So if you are an avid consumer of YouTube content, you've probably seen this iceberg trend going around. And if you haven't, I'll give you a really quick gestalt on what this is all about. Take the picture of an iceberg, right? And I'm gonna have this up on the screen so you guys can follow along with me here. Basically, the top of the iceberg is what everybody sees, okay? And the top of the iceberg also represents what everybody knows about. So no matter what your topic is about or hobby, you're always gonna have those particular names or objects or items that everybody knows about. You don't have to be into the hobby to know about that stuff. So if you like alcohol, right? Jack Daniels and Captain Morgan and Bud Light, that's all gonna be at the top of the iceberg. Everybody knows that stuff. And as you go further down the iceberg and you start going underwater, you start getting into things that more devoted people are going to be knowing about there. You know, people that really have a vested interest in the hobby, all the way down to the bottom where you got to be deep into it to have any clue of what they're going to be talking about. So for this video here, I went ahead and looked through my collection and ended up with 7 levels of the fragrance iceberg, starting at the top where every single person will know about this stuff, going down further into things where you have to be doing a little bit more digging to have a full understanding of what those things are as we go further down. And because we have so many fragrances here in this video, I didn't pull them all off the shelves, but I did pull a good majority of them off. And I'm also going to leave this up on the side so you can kind of follow along with. Starting off at level 1, and I'm going to have my phone in my hand because I got to be able to see what it is that I'm looking at. Level 1, okay, this is the most basic of the basic. Everybody knows these fragrances, whether you're a collector or not. We're gonna start off with Acqua di Gio, the original. Everybody knows this fragrance. Just about every guy has it or has had it at some point, and basically everybody has smelled this at some point in their life, whether they know about it or not. Next up, Paco Rabanne 1 Million, Gold Bar, very sweet fragrance, great performance, very loud, very juvenile. Everybody knows that one too. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Now this could be Light Blue Intense or the original or anything else in between. The point is people know this one. Next up, of course, Dior Savage, the EDT, really pretty much any version at this point. It's definitely at the top of the iceberg here. Everybody knows that fragrance. Spice Bomb Eau de Toilette. Same deal, everybody knows it. It's kind of been labeled as the ex-boyfriend fragrance. Everyone has worn it at some point. Everyone has smelled it. The marketing behind that one has really helped its success. Everyone wants the grenade-looking bottle with the little pull pin. I mean, that's just cool. That fragrance has done incredibly well. And finally, Eros by Versace. Giant old 200 ml bottle here, just the OG EDT. Everybody knows this one as well. Really quick, this will be a good time for me to address that I can't feature everything. I know I'm going to get 12 comments. Where's this fragrance? Oh, well, what about this one? You forgot about this. Where's this fragrance? You know, if I featured everything that would make it into these tiers, we'd have a 2-hour-long video. I get enough people complaining when a video is 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep it concise and just pick and choose some of the main ones, but you guys get the point. There's a million things that could have gone into this video. Okay, level 2. It's going to get more exciting and more interesting as we go along here. We're going to start it off with the Ventus by Creed. A lot of people would think that this is a level 1 scent due to the sheer amount of hype that it gets, but really a lot of it is community driven. And I'll tell you, every time I've gotten a comment on this one in public and I say it's Creed Ventus, they always look at me like they have no idea what I just said. So it really isn't as popular outside of the community as you may think. A lot of people will still have no idea what the name of this one is. And that's kind of what we're going for here. Everyone will know or recognize Savage. Everyone will know or recognize 1 Million when you say it, but not everyone recognizes this one, and that's kind of why it's a level 2 scent. And yes, if you are wondering, this is the new metal cap version. As you can see, brand new bottle. This is going to be in a video coming up shortly to talk about the new formulation of Creed Ventus. Next up, La Nuit de l'Homme, also a level 2 scent. Some could argue it's a level 1, but it's the same exact deal, guys. Anytime someone asks you what you're wearing out in public, when you're wearing this and you say La Nuit de l'Homme, they're gonna look at you like they have no idea what you just said. That's what makes this a level 2 scent, and that's what makes all of the other fragrances going forward a level 3, level 4, level 5. The people have to know them, and most aren't going to know what this is. They might have smelled it before, but they're not really going to know the name. Prada L'Homme, another great one, same deal, very popular. A lot of people wear it, but most people aren't going to have an understanding of the name of it, Prada L'Homme. They're just not going to know that. And last up, Azzaro Wanted. Same deal. Now this one is kind of unique because it smells similar to Invictus. So people are going to be thinking, oh, maybe that's an Invictus smelling scent. But they would be wrong. It's Azzaro Wanted. Now there are its differences as well, but it's kind of right there on the edge. It's not quite to the top tier level of the Sauvages and the Bleu de Chanels and 1 Millions and everything else, but it's pretty close. Level 3, Valentino Womo Intense, one of the more popular sweet iris fragrances here. Big fan of this one. Love it all the way around. Pretty popular, more so community driven, but people will be wearing this one outside of the community as well. But most people are not going to be able to pick up on this and say, oh, that's Valentino Womo Intense. And if you tell them, hey, I'm wearing Valentino Womo Intense, they're going to look at you and go, oh, yeah, I know that. And they're going to be like, actually, no, I don't. Spice Bomb Extreme level 3 scent, I think so. Community driven hype mostly. It will definitely get some attention outside the community. However, if it doesn't end up getting more, this may not be around forever. There's been a couple scares and some rumors of this one being discontinued because fact of the matter is this one didn't really pop off and have the same impact as its older brother or the originator, the EDT. That being said though, still a great scent, tobacco vanilla, one of my favorites. Looking at level 3, we also have Bentley for Men Intense, great cheapie, Tom Ford Noir Extreme, really nice one, big name brand, but you know it's not going to be quite as household friendly as like Grey Vetiver or something like that. And finally, Artisan Pure by John Varvatos to end off our level 3 tier. Also a really nice one for the spring and summertime, very nice and fresh, but most people aren't going to have any idea what that is. Moving on to level 4, and I found the further I would go, the harder this would actually get, because you can really just sit here and beat yourself up over, oh, is that level 3, level 4, blah, blah, blah. None of this, nothing will ever be accurate, nothing will ever be right. You know, people are going to argue in the comments, oh, that should be this, that should be that. It's all just fun, right? We don't know for sure. But I would say a level 4 scent would be something, you know, like Roja Parfums Enigma. The average Joe is not going to be paying $485 at retail for this. He also probably isn't going to be wanting to pay $290 for the 100 ml Parfum Cologne. He would probably down to buy some clones if he knew about them, but most original guys aren't going to know about clones, the fragrances. They're going to have no idea what that is. So the scent DNA combined with the fact that it's a more luxury product kind of places this one in the level 4 category. If you're wanting to stand out and smell unique this winter and you got some coin to throw around, you can't go wrong with Enigma. Next up, you could go with something like Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, not to be confused with Prada L'Homme Intense. Another quick aside, I'm only doing in production fragrances here in this video. There's no Gucci Envy or anything like that. I'm not doing any discontinued stuff. But anyway, Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, very heavy on the patchouli and the myrrh. It's smoky and resinous, but also still kind of clean and soapy. It's a really nice one that most people aren't going to be wearing or utilizing. Tom Ford Oud Mineral. It's a private blend that I believe is getting moved over into the Signature line. Actually, one of my favorites from the Tom Ford private blend line. It's a very unique marine scent. It's a marine scent that you could wear while you're wearing a suit and tie, which sounds very counterintuitive, but it's a very upscale and classy marine scent. Super unique. And we can end level 4 with Dolce & Gabbana, The One Mysterious Night. It's an oud and rose limited edition flanker, or maybe not limited edition, but exclusive edition rather. So you got to be into oud and rose combos. Still designer level, still smells great, but not going to be for everybody. All right, down to level 5. We're getting down that iceberg pretty good. Things are getting a little bit more interesting. We could go with something like Azzaro Pour Homme Edition Noir. I'm willing to bet most of you guys haven't really heard of this one, or maybe you have, but maybe you haven't decided to pick it up. It's really nice, still leaning in that Azzaro Pour Homme DNA, the aromatic fougere, but a little bit more mature even still. So it's kind of a nice twist. I bought it simply because of the all blacked out bottle, matte finish. I think it looks super sleek. I love all blacked out bottles, and it was a pleasant surprise when it ended up smelling halfway decent too. Nice kind of textured finish on this bottle too. When it's in stock, it's a cheapie, you know, relatively affordable, but you know, you got to be in the right places at the right time to get this one in stock. Definitely one that old Billy over there down the road in high school isn't going to be wearing. Also something like Gucci Intense Oud. That one's going for like 150 bucks on discounters. It's been that way for going on a couple of years, I think. Really nice oud fragrance, designer level, and it's also a designer level version of Nasamato's Black Afghano. Really big fan of it for that reason. At one point, it was a much more affordable alternative. Now, price per milliliter wise, it is still more affordable. But if you're not really needing that much and you want to just get the Nasomato and have less of it, but you really don't need that much anyway, then you can just go that route. And also Dior Higher Energy to finish off, what is this, level 5. You know, you're going to hear the Savages and the Dior Homme Intenses and the sports and everything, just the Homme line and all that talked about all the time. But higher and higher energy, not so much anymore, which is kind of a shame because these are really, really nice fragrances. I just included this one, but higher also is very good too. Okay, for the number 6 level, I only have 3. I put a few more in down at level 7. But we'll start off with something ridiculous. Philipp Plein, the Skull. So why is a Philipp Plein fragrance at level 6, right? Well, because most people are not going to be spending the ungodly amount of money on this monstrosity. Because let's be real, this is kind of a monstrosity. I love it. I think it's super cool. This was done by a master perfumer, Alberto Marias. Same with all the other Philipp Plein fragrances, also in the tacky bottles. But some great pieces of work have come out of, you know, these collaborations here. This is one of them. You know, it actually smells similar to No Limits and also No Limits Super Fresh, but a little bit more marine oriented here. Bottle is chunky, heavy, and, you know, it's a Philipp Plein bottle. And again, no one's going to be buying this. I'm sorry, Philipp Plein, not trying to hate, nothing wrong with the fragrance, but most people just aren't going to be buying that stuff. Could also go with something like Xerjoff Richwood, a Patchouli Bomb. This is patchouli for a dude who wants to smell like his pockets are loaded down with hundos. I mean, talk about a truly exquisite and luxurious and rich smelling fragrance. It better be. This stuff is like $400 and this is the 100 ml bottle, so definitely a good dent. It'll lighten up your wallet load a little bit there, but similar deal here. Most people just aren't going to be spending this much for it. If they're going to be getting a Xerjoff, they're going to be going for Neo or Renaissance or a Naxos or anything else. You start getting over to stuff like this, it gets fewer and far between. Last up for this level, we have Frank Beausoleil Tobacco. So this is a really, really fantastic tobacco fragrance for a very affordable price. It's got tobacco and plum in here. Very strong, great performance. Presentation kind of sucks, honestly, in my opinion, because they're using a sticker on the front, which I am not really super excited about. The cap is just a press fit. You're not buying it for presentation here, that's for sure. You're buying it for scent, but the scent is definitely above average. One of the better tobacco fragrances that I've smelled, especially at this price point. Again, you're not spending an absolute arm and a leg on something like this, which is nice. But to that point, most people will have no idea about this brand or this fragrance. Okay, level 7. Where do I want to start? I guess we'll start with this one here. I've actually talked about this a couple times just to prove some points, but it's Orto Parisi Mega Mare. So I was talking about Nasomato earlier. Yeah, this is Nasomato, just, you know, different brand, but same perfumer. Pretty cool. Still comes in the small 50 mils, but it's a true parfum, heavy, strong stuff. I use this as a way to prove the point that not everyone, you know, wants or needs a super unique smelling fragrance. People say aquatics, they all smell the same. That's boring. We want something new. Then that same person will go and smell this and then vomit and then cry because they spent $200 on this or whatever it goes for. I don't know. So, you know, kind of one of those things where it's like, be careful what you wish for, right? This is a marine scent for someone who does not give one single crap about what anyone has to say about his fragrance. There's nothing else out there like this one. Can be a little bit hard to pull off if you're a little bit uneasy. You just got to rock it with confidence and not care. But it's something different. You can also go with something like Habajant Fougere Royale. That's a really nice one. Aromatic Fougere. I bought that back when I was in my Fougere phase. Can't find my bottle. Comes in a super nice presentation. It's like $400. It's around here somewhere, but I couldn't find it for this video. Could also go with something like M0°C by Masaki Matsushima. It's an eau de toilette. I think this has some note like ice or something, you know, kind of goofy, but it really smells fantastic. I love this fragrance. Talked about this once or twice before. Super uplifting, super bright. I love the frosted glass. That is just always a winner for me. The bottle shape is cool. Really nice scent that just, I mean, who really knows about this, really? Not very many people. 2 more to go. We have Mdci Blue Satin. In terms of YouTube, I don't really hear too much about this one. I'm sure in Facebook groups and forums, Mdci in general is probably talked about more, and this one. This is going to be one of the more popular ones because, you guessed it, smells a little bit like a Ventus and Elysium. It's a very, very fruity inspired version of a Ventus. Costs a good amount of money. Presentation also isn't all that great for what you pay. Cap just doesn't even click. Cap is cheap. You do have a tassel. That makes up for it, right? No, not really. But no one really knows about this stuff. And a prized possession of mine. It took a good amount of work to track this one down from the house of Killian Paris. It's Straight to Heaven. Okay? No, it's Straight to Heaven Oud and Musk Special Blend. I'll have you. So yeah, this is their limited edition. Only created it for, I think, like a year, maybe not even. And it's got Oud and Musk. Yeah, special blend. 2021. So yeah, it was for 1 year. And it smells fantastic. Really nice stuff that is just super rare, hard to get. And even if you were still able to buy it right now, I feel like most people would probably not opt for this. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That is going to be the fragrance Iceberg, something a little bit different. Like I said, there could have been 1,000,001 combinations that could have been put throughout this entire video, but I wanted to keep it relatively concise. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will link probably most, if not all of these down below to discounters. If you have any sort of interest in these, you can pick them up there. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.